Hey, what's up, naughty community? Welcome back to my naughty hobby with Amber for another crochet tutorial. For those of you who are new here and haven't met me, I've been a crocheter for about 15 years now. I'm part of the Crocheters Guild of America. I've written a few different designs in amigurumi. I love to do hats, but most of all, I love to teach you. And today I'm going to be showing you how to do the box stitch. This is a highly texturized pattern requiring just some of the fundamental stitches, and one that's probably going to be new to you, even if you have been crocheting for a while, and that's the quadruple front post stitch that we will be doing to create the lines of our box. If you are new to crochet and still trying to figure out basic stitches, or if any of the stitches that I use in this video are new to you, you can always check out the other videos that I have if you back out of this one and check out my videos tab. And also, if you sign up for my newsletter to never miss out on new pattern designs, giveaways, naughty shenanigans that are happening over here. And you can do all of that at www.mynaughtyhobby, spelled just like this, .com. I'll also post a link in the comments after this is posted. Thanks for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. So in order to get this pattern to work up correctly and evenly, we are going to need to do a foundation row that consists of a multiple of 4 plus 1. So since we're starting out with chains, we need to also calculate that into our beginning. So if you're coming up with your own, it'll be a multiple of 4 plus 1, and then we're going to do plus 2 more. In this example, we're going to be chaining 19. There's 10. 15. And 19. Now on our third chain from our hook, right here, we're going to place 1 double crochet. And that's our first stitch. And we're also going to do 1 double crochet into each chain across. We want to have a total of 17 double crochets at the end of our row. Working through our foundation chain is always slow going, but we are almost there. Oops. Then 1 more. Okay, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Then just place a single crochet into each of your stitches across. this one here. We're going to join on our second color. You're going to want to leave that first one attached though. And the way I bring on new color, no matter the stitch that I'm working, the last pull through of the stitch, which with single crochet you only pull up one loop and then yarn over to complete it, that's how I'm going to bring on that new color. We're actually not going to chain. We're going to turn our work and do another standing double crochet. And we're going to do one double crochet into each of the stitches across. Okay, turn your work. We're going to do the exact same thing. So standing double in our first, and then double crochet in each stitch across. This row coming up is where our pattern is going to change. Then there's that standing double crochet. You're just going to work into that chain space that we created. Leave 2 on your hook. Now we're going to color change back to our first color. So I do it just like that. Make sure that the yarn that I'm joining on is nice and straight and isn't bunching my work up. And we're going to turn our work. Again, you'll want to kind of check this after you turn, but into the first stitch created, which is going to be this one here, we're going to place another standing double crochet. And after you've completed that, you can go back and kind of tighten up that color you dropped, but don't cut it off. So standing double crochet, which counts as a stitch, and then a double crochet into the next. Now here, we're going to come all the way down to our first row that we made, because I can see that there was a stitch in here. This is actually our turning chain, so I'm counting that as 1 and 2 around this stitch right here. That's what we're going to be working around. we're going to yarn over 5 times. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to come down to that stitch, which is right here. You're going to have to adjust the way that you hold your work just a little bit. Going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do this until we complete the stitch. Now you're going to skip that one because we already did that stitch down here with that post. It's called a quadruple front post. So skipping this one, we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Come down here, and now you're going to skip 3 of the stitches. 1, 2, 3, and go around this one here. So again, yarn over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Whoops. And again, after you do that first one, it's easy to count your stitches that you're going to skip. You want to skip 3 and go into the 4th. After this first row like this, I promise it's going to be easier to put the stitches in and also see where they go. Again, we're going to go into do a double crochet after skipping this one here to the next 3. Another one of those quadruple front post stitches. So I'm going to come down here, count 3, 1, 2, 3, and then go into the next, which is going to be this one here. You can always go back and adjust your stitch up if it's low on the base of it there. Skip this next one, do 3 into the next. Well, 1 into each, but 3 of them. Come back down, skip 3, find your 4th, yarn over 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The better tension you use on these like quadruple stitches, the neater your finished product will look. Okay, we're skipping this one, and then we're just going to do a double crochet into our last 2 stitches. And there's the top of that standing double crochet. you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Then place a single crochet into each of the stitches across. Excuse me, sorry about that. Now on our last stitch here, we're going to finish by joining back on the white. And we're going to repeat those 2 rows of double crochets, starting always when you're working the double crochets, the standing double crochet. Turn your work, standing double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into each of the stitches. Okay, we're switching back to that blue now, our first color. So drop your white and then complete that last double crochet. Sorry about the notification there. But we joined on our new color, making sure that we're not pulling too tight, cinching our work up. You're going to turn it over. You now have the right side of your work facing you, where you can see those boxes starting to form. In our very first stitch right here, I'm going to do a standing double crochet. Do a double crochet into your next stitch. And now, just like before, we're going to work into these quadruple stitches. So they're worked the same way. 5 yarn overs. But now you can just kind of fold your work, pull up a loop around that last stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll do that a total of 5 times, the yarning over and pulling through. I usually count in my head, so that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Soup. Oh my goodness. And then following the pattern like previously when we created those, skipping this stitch right here and then doing 1 double crochet into the next 3. Skip the next, 1 double crochet into the next 3. There's 5 yarn overs. And then at the end of our rows, remember we skip 1 and then just have 2 stitches to go into. And we're placing double crochets in those. So from here, again, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and then place a single crochet into each stitch across. I love this pattern because after you get past the initial round, or excuse me, row that you work those quadruple front post stitches into, there's no counting really involved in working this out. So it's a good piece that you can use to just, you know, sit on your couch, crochet, and binge watch whatever your favorite streaming service is. So after you complete your row of single crochets, from here I would add my white back on, and I would do 2 rows of the white and then another row of these quadruple stitches and single crochets. But that's all there is to this stitch combo to create boxes in your work. And these are, like I was showing you earlier, they're open. So I was thinking of different ways that you could get creative with these types of stitches. It's kind of fun there. It's I don't know, it's different. I'd never worked something like this up before. So I hope that you liked this tutorial, that you found it helpful, and maybe you're going to incorporate it into some of your designs. Like I said earlier in the video, I would love for you to sign up for my newsletter or even leave a recommendation on my page and let the other hookers out there know how I'm doing and what kind of content that I offer. I'm going to get off of here for now, but I hope that you all have a fantastic day with some beautiful fiber on your hooks, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Happy hooking, guys. Bye.